Welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. I'm your host, Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is my final video for tonight. I have a headache. I deleted my original video because I misspoke and I can't edit on this laptop. So, here's what we're going to do. I talked about my curly hair and how I use Royal Crown. They should give me a job because it knocks out my curls and I look smooth. I talked about how I'm watching a TikTok now with some pretendians doing more indigenous erasure. And it never seems to end. I mean, it never, ever seems to end. Ever, man, ever. And I'm tired of this shit. And before I erase the video, I spoke on I never appreciated my heritage as much as I do now. That's why the name's Echo Fane Grey Wolf, and that's what the world is going to know me as. They're not going to know me as James Williams Jr. unless they're here on YouTube. They're only going to know me as Echo Fane Grey Wolf. And it's in alphabetical order, E, F, G. You can't go wrong in alphabetical order. E, F, G. And I like it. It rolls off my tongue very well. My name is Echo. Echo Fane Grey Wolf. It's awesome. Anyway. Now, this is why I have to fight for my heritage now. There are black people who may or may not be mixed native trying to say that Native Americans are not Native Americans. They are getting rid of black and indigenous history. They're rewriting history. They're rewriting the slave trade and all this other stuff, but they're not doing the math because Africa is bigger than America, and the population would have been next to zero. They would have had to take 10 times more slaves from America to populate Africa than they would have had to take from Africa to populate America. And these fuckers are just fucking nuts, okay? I didn't use my native heritage at the beginning of my career. And I should have. I should have took the signs, and I didn't. So let me give you the signs. All my life, when I started working, people would not think that I was black. And instead of not denying it, I probably should have, but I didn't. I know that I'm mixed. I've always known that I was mixed. Just wasn't sure how mixed I was. Now I'm more aware of how mixed I am. Still waiting on 23andMe so I can find my haplogroup and my phenotype. So, once I get that all out the way, I'll be in good shape. I'm not sharing any of that shit here. Or on the internet. Now, you want my shit, get a government warrant. Which I'm pretty sure that you'll have to work hard on that as a veteran of the United States Army, and I have not committed any crimes. Good luck with getting the government warrant. Anyway, so, my first sign was the 3 years where a dude kept calling me Chief. I didn't fucking want to use my native heritage for that. There was no point. No, I knew I was mixed. Years after that, when I had the incident with the purebloods, and they kept explaining to me that I was not a pure-blooded native, that was probably a sign. But because of that, also, I wasn't going to use my native heritage. So, my first movie, Fallen Dragons, I made my character part native, part black, and part Chinese. So, that way, it would be there. And that way it would work with the story of me having a Chinese brother. So, that worked out, except for the movie didn't really get ready to go where Millennium didn't like it. And yet again, I still wanted to play mixed people. So every movie I've made, mixed. When I went to audition for Evan Almighty, the lady said, "Are you native?" And my dumb ass said, "No, I'm mixed native." And she said, "Well, you should probably go down to North Carolina. It might have been North, might have been South. I don't remember. I told you guys the story before. And my head is throbbing, so just bear with me." And she says, they're hiring native actors to play in the movie Conquest 1492. And this live just ended, so that sucks. Damn. Okay. Well, that's awesome. She's not alive. Okay, maybe she is alive. Oh, nope. That live just ended. I don't know who these people are. We're gonna get out of there. We're gonna go there. Okay. Anyway, I didn't take that sign. Every job that I've ever applied for, I've always put black. And damn near everyone that is there for the job has always asked me, "Are you sure?" It's like, I know what I am. I'm mixed. By all legal rights, my birth certificate says black, so I put black. So, with a couple of insults to injuries and a couple of people on TikTok calling me a pretendian and shit like that, it's like, dude, I'm on my reconnecting journey, which also started because I went to the hospital and I bumped into a military dude who's also native and black. He's darker than me, but he has native features in the face. And he's like, "Are you Native American?" I'm like, "No, I'm mixed native." He's like, "Yeah, you need to start your reconnecting journey, and this is how you're gonna begin. You're gonna go to the BIA." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And we had a conversation. I tell you guys all that shit. So it wasn't until TikTok where I really started appreciating my native heritage. And now I'm going to use that native heritage to get work as an actor. So I'm only billing myself out as a mixed native until I get work. And if I get work and they're like, "Are you mixed native?" And I will say yes. And say, "But for all character purposes, I will be full native. But we're going to do it right." And if they're like, "What?" I'll say, "Yeah, we're going to do it right. We're going to go talk to a shaman and we're going to get a blessing." A good shaman. I can play shaman. Remember Alpha Flight. I might be a little bit too short, but I can still play him. I want to do the best I can to honor my great grandmother on my dad's side, who's native. My grandmother on my dad's side is possibly native, possibly mixed. I'm not sure, and I don't care. My grandmother on my mom's side is definitely mixed, but she was adopted, so that makes it a little bit harder to look for her shit. As for her husband, he was part black and part white. We know that much, and he was white presenting, just like my mom is white presenting. So I know that I'm mixed, and I appreciate my heritage. I do not deny my black side, my white side, or my native side. But we can all be honest here. I'm never going to be white. That's a fucking fact. I'm never going to be white. What you see is what you get. Now, am I more native than black? Probably not. But that also would depend on who you encounter. And I say that because when my sister worked at Burger King, the same Burger King where I threatened the boss, who I threatened once before, for like the second or the third time. I met a white kid. I was standing outside, and he went in to order his food. But before he went in, he looked me dead in the face, and he says, "Hey, man, you Native American?" And I was like, "I'm part Native American. I'm not all the way Native. I've never told anyone in the world that I'm all Native American." It's like, "Well, you like you're Native American?" I was like, "Yeah, I got some Native in me, but I'm not full-blooded Native." Now, I've always denied that shit. I've always pushed my Native heritage away. And done some research on that. And a lot of natives have been taught from the East Coast to the West Coast to just don't tell anybody. You know? And I didn't know that was a thing. Because when I found out I was native, I didn't know I was part native. I didn't find out until the 5th grade because I didn't know what that shit was. As a mixed child growing up, when both my great grandmother and her daughter, my grandmother, were alive, they never did native shit. They cooked for a living. Well, my great grandmother cleaned for a living. Her daughter, my grandmother, cooked for a living and forced me to eat corn and pancakes. Those are things you don't forget. Alright? That's why I don't like fucking corn. And my mom's mom only forced me to go to church. Now, my grandmother on my dad's side, I don't know if she ever stepped foot in church other than when she died. I don't know if her mom ever stepped foot in the church because she died in 1983. So, yeah. I only got to spend time with her during the summertime. And when she got her legs amputated because she had gangrene, I didn't think that would go from her to my grandmother, her daughter, who also got at least one leg amputated that I can remember. And this is why I'm real careful at the shit that I eat and drink. I think about this shit, and the only thing my great grandmother really ever told me was stories of her and her brother John and some folklore. So I don't know enough about my heritage. Now, before anybody comes at me, I'ma say it so you don't have to say it. What about your black heritage? Okay, this is the part that's gonna be really fucking hard. As a black person, it is more than likely we will never know our true heritage due to the fact that we don't know where our black ancestors came from. That's just black people in general. Alright? As a mixed person, I have it far worse than y'all. Because I'm not like direct biracial. I am generationally mixed. My grandmother is mixed on my mom's side. My grandfather on my mom's side is mixed. You see the clusterfuck? My grandfather on my mom's side was white presenting. He did not turn dark until he died. When he died, he no longer looked like a white man, but he had nice straight white hair, like white people. So he was definitely like a mulatto. But I wouldn't know where to begin to search for him. I know he died. I was pretty much there. He died when I was 6. My grandmother on my mom's side is still alive. Since she was adopted, we're still working on some shit there. Alright? So that's an issue. And she's always had straightish fucking hair. She's never had black people hair. And as far as I know, she's never had a fucking perm. Now, the complicated part is that we were told we're Cherokee on that side. But we were also told we were Cherokee on my dad's side. But when I searched for Virginia, alright, first, my grandmother is mislabeled as mulatto. Second, my grandma is from Charles City. The only natives there are Chickahominy. And I don't think you can bury anybody in a city that they're like not born in if they're like not from there or whatever. Then again, you might if they moved and they married there. But my other grandmother, her daughter, was in Isles of Wight. I don't know if it's any natives there, but I do know that in Charles City, in the Powhite or Powhite, whatever the fuck you want to call it, there's that. Charles City is somewhere in between that and that. And they are, Chickahominy is supposed to be an offset of Powhatan, where when you're Cherokee, it's supposed to be an offset of Iroquois. So I'm like, holy fuck. And I thought finding black shit was hard. So finding native stuff is hard. Finding black shit's fucking gonna be harder. So, because they're not gonna be able to pinpoint anything. They give you a region, but that doesn't mean shit. They give you a region. I would probably have to literally go to Africa and get a test over there. I ain't got that kind of money. And respectfully, I was once told when I was a kid in high school by an African exchange student that I would never be welcome in Africa and that they would shoot me when I got off the plane. I take that shit very seriously. So Echo Fan Grey Wolf is not going to fucking Africa. I am not going to give up on my black side search. I'm just not gonna fucking worry about it either. And as far as my native search, that's just a tiny bit more important. Not because I'm trying to get land back or any of that bullshit or those land patents these pretendians are trying to do, but so that I can get acknowledgement that I am one of you. That's it. I'm already out of school, so I don't have to worry about going to school for free, which is also a myth. If you're not like born on the res, you're not going to school for free. unless you have like a serious IQ and the right people see your shit. But that's not what I want. I want to just be acknowledged. It's like, yes, you are one of us. That's it. So now I gotta worry about blood quantum and all kinds of other shit. So, yeah. But I have embraced my native heritage more than I've embraced my white heritage or my black heritage. And now I'm going to explain that because of a beating with a canoe and a beating over trying to make a canoe. Alright? So, here's the thing. I was in the 5th grade, the year the Challenger exploded. We had Black History Month. But it wasn't a month. It was 2 weeks. Right? It was 2 fucking weeks. Black History Month went like this. Yeah, February 1st, all the way to the 28th. And then Black History Month, we had Native American History, which was 2 weeks. So the teacher was doing double duty. Her name was Miss Conrad. God rest her soul. I don't think she's still alive because she was pretty up there in age when I was in her class. So, to her descendants, thank you. So Miss Conrad called me out on my heritage. And at that time, I didn't know what the fuck a Native American was. I didn't know what that shit was because mixed kids, unlike non-mixed kids, y'all got the same colored parents. Alright? Y'all have the same colored parents. I don't. My mom's white passing. My dad's black passing. My dad's dad was black. My dad's mom was Native or mixed Native. Her mom before her was Native. So, these are the things that happens in Virginia. So, here I am, not thinking too much about the shit because I don't fucking know. When I go see my grandmother, it's grandmother. When I see great grandmother, it's great grandmother. It's not like she pulled us to the side, did smudging and all that shit. She didn't do that shit. It's like, I can tell you this story about the time my brother John and I ran through the forest in our moccasins. I'm a kid. I don't know what the fuck moccasins is. I know what a forest is. We live outside. There's a forest, and teach you that shit. But I don't see her as a Native American. I see her as grandma. I see my great-grandmother the same way. But my grandmother would make pancakes with corn in it. Corn, y'all. Like corn on the cob, but without the cob. Alright? This is kind of one of the things that started me on my journey of hating corn. Alright? I used to like corn on the cob, too, but after the corn and the pancakes, I was pretty much done. And the thing was, they didn't play that you eat what the fuck we put in front of you or you get your ass beat shit. That's what they did. And I got that from both sides. So I normally didn't ask for a lot of food wherever I went. I tried to eat at home all the time because I'm a finicky ass eater. Man, as a mixed person, we don't view the world the way everybody else does. We see it for what it is. But when it comes to home life, we don't see our parents for anything other than our parents. My mom looks white. I never saw her as a white person. She just looks white. She's exceptionally light. My dad looks black. He's exceptionally black. And in that small ass town where he grew up at, you rarely see natives. Smithfield, Isles of Wight, you rarely see any natives. So we were raised black. Now, like it or not, we were raised black. So I appreciate my heritage. All of them. But I'm not going to say that finding the black culture in the past, like my grandfather and stuff, it's not impossible. It's just highly improbable. I have a better chance of getting native information because there's no Bureau of Black People Affairs. There is a Bureau of Indian Affairs. And until I get everything I need from Chickahominy and stuff, I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place. Where fucking, I don't have to worry about the white stuff. It's just not even worth even attempting. I know it's European. It's something. No. Which white it is, I don't know. No offense to white people if you're watching. I just don't know. It's not something that I'm really going to ever need, because you look at my face, you see the two tones of skin. I'm never going to be white, physically. Never going to be white. So I'm not like pushing the idea of trying to find a lot about my white heritage. I know my grandfather, his last name was Rose. Rose, like the flower. Nelson County, Regina. End of discussion. Lived there, died there, worked on a dairy farm. I don't know shit about his daddy. I don't know shit about his mom. I do know that one of his parents was obviously black, and he was very white presenting. So if we ever had a chance of being black, it was pretty much bred out of us on my mother's daddy's side. On my grandmother's side, if we had a chance of being full native, it was breeded out, because I'm sure she's either mixed or she's native, but she was adopted. So, clusterfuck, anyone? If you look at my mom, you would think that my mom was white. I got in trouble in school one time. 2 times. Okay, 3 times. But one time, I didn't get in trouble. It was a well-deserved punch to the face of a girl who called me the N-word. But every time someone saw my mom, between going to school and hearing, you have a white mom, and coming home to the projects and hearing, man, you got a white mama, you got a white mama. Eventually, mixed kids get tired of that shit. But when the girl called me the N-word, I punched her in the mouth, because we never used that word in our house. And god damn, my nephews and them, it's the only word they fucking know. So, you see the clusterfuck? And all the white kids, you got a white mama. And then, there's this thing called TV. TV. So, with television, there were shows like Good Times, Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, What's Happening. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something. There was also The Facts of Life and Different Strokes. Give Me a Break. There was only black representation on Give Me a Break and Benson. Everything else were black shows, like pro-black shows. Good Times was pro-black. Different Strokes wasn't really pro-black, because it was like 2 black kids in the whole show. That was, well, 3 if you count Dudley. Sanford and Son was pretty much pro-black, but we had one good episode with the white guy who had moved in with Fred Sanford, because like Lamont left the show, and I guess the guy who played Julio or Juan, I don't know what the fuck his name is, but you know what, we're gonna find out though. We're gonna find out. That's what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna turn up the volume. Close everything out to make sure nothing like that voice that just happened comes across. The Mexican American from Sanford and Son.
According to Sanford and Son Wiki, fandom,
Wasn't
Julio
even Mexican.
Fuentes is the Puerto Rican next-door neighbor of Fred G. Sanford and his son Lamont on the NBC sitcom Sanford and Son, portrayed by Gregory Sierra. Julio, a rival junkman who moved there to Watts from New York City.
Okay, so there's the stereotype. That's the guy. So when I was in school, I guess we don't know the difference at my generation between a Mexican and a Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican. I'm not Puerto Rican. But the kids would call me Julio or Juan. There was a guy named Chanto. I guess something on Barney Miller. So they did have that. Mexican guy was replaced on Miami Vice. There was a lot of these type characters. The term zebra from the Jeffersons. Okay, so Helen Willis, the Jeffersons, fandom. I'm gonna have to read it because, you know, Google's not talking. This was Helen Willis. Helen Willis. Nee Douglas portrayed Roxy Poker in All in the Family. This is not what I'm looking for, but okay. Let me see if I can find a better example. What did George Jefferson call Helen Willis and Tom Willis's mixed daughter?
According to Wikipedia, George, opposed to miscegenation, calls Helen and Tom zebras or chocolate and vanilla. Helen often strikes back by calling George Shorty.
So, now you see what I kind of went through. What was the racist names used against Julio in Sanford and Son? So the character Sanford and Son. Okay, Sanford and Son. What was the Mexican name on Sanford and Son? He wasn't Mexican. He was Puerto Rican. So I asked that before. His name was Julio. So I don't know what people kept calling me Carlos. And this thing says, was Fred Sanford a bigot? Setup follows the framework to set all of the families. Sanford and Son is a word I can't pronounce. Irresistible, elder, unsponsored, bigot, and sensitive. So Fred Sanford was kind of like that. Yeah, he was kind of a jerk. Let's see. In the 70s and 80s, what were the racist terms used for mixed kids? Alright. Mixed kids, what do we get called by multiple backgrounds? We're going to click on this shit. I should have clicked on that slur thing. Mixed kids, what do we get called by people with multiple backgrounds? 1998. No, I'm a little older than that. So, let's see. It's not saying. It's not giving me shit. Called Mix Me. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know why it's got mixed chicks. I just want the fucking slurs. Alright, let's click on the ethnic slurs. The following is a list of ethnic slurs for some word I can't pronounce and some other word I can't pronounce. And some other word I can't pronounce and some other word, but ethnic racially groups. Alright, so the purpose of an ethnic slur, god damn it, that ain't what I need. I'm not going to say that because that's just wrong. Okay, we're not going to say that because that's anti-Semitic. Okay. Well, anyway, let me see if I can find another one. What shows call people half-breeds? Popular movie with the tag half-breeds. What is a half-breed person? A mixed race person. What is the word for mixed races? Biracial, multiracial, which is what I am. Multiracial, not biracial. What are the 7 types different races? Minimum category data on race, ethnicity, and federal status and programming, advising, reporting, the civil rights column, something or another reporting. Alright, so you have American, Indian, or Alaskan Native. Asian, you have Black or African American, Hispanic or Latino, Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, and white. Yeah, see, that's not what I'm looking for either. We had some names that were said to us. Half-breed, all kinds of other stuff. And for some reason, Wikipedia is not my fucking friend, and neither is Google. But I was called Juan or Carlos and lots of other things, and people ask me about the fucking goat that I don't have, because dude had a goat in the show. And, you know, you live and you learn from these things. But when mixed kids go home, your mom is your mom, your dad is your dad, regardless of what fucking color there is. My parents were divorced when I was 6, so I only got to see my dad during the summertime, and my dad was black. He's mixed, but he has more black features than native features. You know, my Uncle Bruce, also black, also dark. His daughter Sherry looks more native than black. So this kind of happens with certain people in the family, where some of us look more native than black, but that's because we're native. But the thing is, we don't see our parents that way. We just see our parents as our parents. I never really had too many problems with being mixed until I started having to get jobs. That's when shit really started getting bad and started getting to me, especially at Kettler's with the guy who kept calling me Chief. That fucking started pissing me off. And then, like, every now and again, it's okay. I will say, before I end this video, because I've been going for 30 minutes, thanks to fucking Google, I think some of the weirdest shit that happens to us mixed people is when you can feel people staring at you. Yes, we have superpowers. We can feel when people are staring at us. I'll be doing something, and I'll be going about my day, and I'll get that feeling that I need to turn around and look. Or I'll get that feeling like someone's burning a hole in the back of my head. And I mean, they walked past me, and I might have glanced at them or whatever. If it's a chick, I checked her ass out. She walked past, I pop one of them side looks because I have long hair and no one can see what I'm doing. But that's when my hair was way longer. And people kept calling me ma'am. Anyway, you'll be places, and people will be looking at you. A bulk of them are scared to approach you. And then you get one brave one, or it's the friend of the one who wanted to know. And they walk over and say, hey, I don't want to offend you, but what are you mixed with? And like, oh, well, I'm black. And they were like, yeah, what are you mixed with? And I was like, yo, I'm part black, I'm part native, I'm part white, I'm multiracial. And they were like, okay, I don't see the black. And I'm like, you don't see the black. You don't see the black. And the other thing, I've had to prove my blackness to black people. And on a sad note on that is that I've had more bad racial experiences from black people than natives and than white people. And I hate saying that shit, but it's the truth. I had 2 bad native experiences. I didn't handle them well. I've had maybe 7 bad white experiences. I handled them proficiently well. I had a fuck ton of black experiences. I didn't handle all of them well, but I handled enough of them well. I won't like to say that black people are the worst, but I won't say that. I will just say the black people that I encountered were the worst. Some of the white people were more curious than racist. The natives were racist to 2, only 2, and they were brothers. And I probably shouldn't have threatened to roll one into a fucking giant oak tree. And I know I shouldn't have threatened to roll the other one into oncoming traffic. In my defense, though, I was 23, and they started it. Hey, you, unpure blood, don't be talking to my fucking niece. Hey, are you able-bodied? Can you, stand up? No. Damn. Okay, well, since you can't stand up, I can't kick your ass. But I can roll you into that motherfucking tree down there. Which is exactly how I said it. So the best thing you can do is get the fuck out my face. So he rolled off. And I'm going to say this respectfully. And I hope his niece is great. I hope he's great. But that motherfucker needed his ass kicking. And his big brother needed one too. And I never met the girl's daddy. No. But he probably wouldn't have liked me either. Because these 2 dudes was assholes. So the older brother rolls up, Jan Brady. And he says, hey man, I seen you talking to my brother. I seen you talking to my niece. We don't want your kind fucking up our bloodline. We don't need you mixing with my niece. So we don't like unpure natives. And then I asked him, can you stand up? He says, no, I'm a paraplegic. Damn. I said, okay, so let me tell you like I told your little brother there. There's no honor in me kicking your ass because you can't stand up and fight back. But I will roll your ass into oncoming traffic. It was more like, I will roll your motherfucking ass into oncoming traffic. Because it's going downhill, and there will be something coming uphill anytime now. Since then, they've put a garage there, so the oak tree was destroyed. I'm sorry, oak tree. I really wish I would have slammed that guy into you. But anyway, I'm sorry. That was the evil part of Echo that came out for that split second. 23-year-old came out. I'm sorry. But I really wanted to roll him into that motherfucking tree. And I really wanted to roll his big brother into that motherfucking oncoming traffic. And so they both walked off. And then I talked to a Mohawk who was the son of the chief. I explained to him the situation. And though we were separated, he gave them an earful. And like I said, I know I'm mixed. You don't have to rub that shit in my face. I've lived in this body for 50 years. And at that time, I was 23. I lived in this body for 23 years. I know I'm mixed. Do I run around hooping and hollering? And no, I don't do that shit. I just act like a normal person. And when people ask me what I'm mixed with, I just let them know. But those two natives, man, they didn't want me anywhere near their niece. Those are the only two Native Americans that I've ever had a bad experience with in my life. I've maybe had one or two bad Asian experiences. One or two. They weren't really that bad. We were kids. We got to arguing, and if anything, I was probably at fault by telling him to go back to China, eat rice cakes, and he was like, oh yeah, well you a half-breed. And you know what else? I'm fucking from Vietnam. Well, goddamn rice cakes. Hi, Zhang. I haven't forgotten. We was at Burley Moran School, man. I haven't forgotten. I love you, brother. Wherever the fuck you are. But that was like really my only really Asian racist shit. I usually get along very well with Asian people for some magical reason. Might be because I know Kung Fu. I don't know. It might be I have a good aura. But yeah. Two bad Native American experiences. Fuck ton of black bad experiences. And then there was a couple of white people. But as a mixed person, I have learned to start embracing more of my native heritage. Cut myself with the axe the other day. It's right there. While I was doing all my music videos and whirling it around, yeah, I cut myself. Thank God I didn't cut anything off. So I'm going to be real careful from now on playing with the axe. I think it was when I had double axes. So yeah, we're going to be really, really fucking careful. So yeah, when Miss Conrad, I'm jumping back through time now. I'm back in the 5th grade. And Miss Conrad called it out. And she's like, you're going to be the best carver in the class because you're part native. I never heard the fucking term native before that day. I knew what an Indian was, but I didn't know what the fucking native was. Same fucking thing. But I didn't know because, I didn't think about that shit. Now, I'm in the 5th grade, man. The fuck do you know in the 5th grade? I was probably the dumbest 5th grader. Anyway. So she goes, you're going to be the best carver of all the class because you're Native American. I said, ma'am, I'm not Native. I'm part black and I'm part white. And she looked at me and said, no, you're probably part black and probably part white, but you are definitely part Native. And I'm like, fucking old ba, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. And so I get home, got the assignment, never showed it to my mom. That was my first mistake. We never did anything native in the house. Never. Like I said, we were raised black. We never did anything native. Not remotely close to anything native. That would also explain by the time I got to Walker why I was really good with a bow and arrow. So, yay. And, so, get there. I'm like, I'm part Native American. And I guess she heard the term before because she said yes. But when she said yes, she says yes. My mom is part Indian, and your dad's mom is Indian, and her mother before her is Indian. And I'm like, She's not saying Native American. She's saying Indian. And so, let me see if Google can help us out here. It's almost 10 o'clock. Yay. Difference between Indian and Native American.
According to Healthline, generally speaking, both American Indian and Native American are okay to use. Both refer to the indigenous peoples of America. That said, the best term to use in a given situation usually comes down to preference, not your personal preference, but the preference of the person you're speaking with.
Okay. So what should I call myself if I'm mixed Native American? How multi-ethnic people identify themselves. You know what? I think I'm going to have to make a video about this. Let's click on it. NPR, how multi-ethnic people identify themselves. This thing says, listen for 30 minutes. I'll be damned. Excuse me. The study shows that most people who are biracial self-identify as biracial, but it mains intends on multi-ethnic Americans to change the way they self-identify depending on who they are talking with. In the study it published in December, Social Psychological Quarterly. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Alright, so the host is Neil Conan. I'm not watching that shit. It's 30 fucking minutes. Uh-oh. Yeah, something just happened. We're gonna hit the X button. Alright, so the black and white biracial or more identify themselves as black, which I have tried to do most of my life. Let's see if it goes down a little further. Miss Nikki Kahana, amongst biracial Conan. I'm not reading all of this shit. It's not giving me what I want. It's giving me shit, but it's like an interview with the dude giving a woman a thing. American Indian and white, but not multiracial. Okay, American Indian and white. Why in the hell is you giving me that? I don't need a privacy notice. I just want to know what they identify themselves as. Non-Hispanic, black and white. Okay, you know what? It's not giving me bullshit, and I'm not gonna make a video about it because I have a fucking headache. But it clearly stated that whether you use American Indian or Native American is okay, and I'm only gonna say I just identify as mixed. Alright? I literally just identify as mixed. But for working purposes, Echo Fangray will be a full native if it's gonna get me the fucking job. Alright? I'm gonna end the video here. I'm gonna end the video. It's gonna be like an hour now. Because I got this fucking headache that won't quit. And by the time I get done, I'll be going to take these damn dogs out. Because in 2 minutes, it'll be 10 o'clock. So we'll try to end this as quick as possible. I got my ass beat over the bars of soap that I carved up. And I had to take whatever was the best ones left to school. And I told Miss Conrad, I said, well, whatever Native American or Indian I descend from, they can't carve a damn thing. I must have been descendants of a scout. And so, my mom beat my ass, yo. I went through every bar of Dow soap we had in the house, except for what was being used in the bathroom. I went through every fucking bar of soap and got my ass beat for it. Because I didn't have tools. I had a butter knife and a spoon. You can't carve shit with a butter knife and a spoon. Okay? So I know now. Go get an X-Acto knife and some other carving tools to smooth stuff out. Okay? That way you don't fuck your shit up. And that way you can draw the perfect canoe. And then you can carve it out in the soap. Then you have to just work really, really nice at it. So I'm going to leave you with this. As a mixed person, I'm very proud of my heritages. I do not deny them, not in public, and the only way that I will probably deny is if I'm in an acting interview and I'm like, okay, look, we need a Native American. Okay? He's like, I'm not a full-blooded Native American, but I'm part Native American. I'm pretty sure I can pull it off. Just tell me what I need to do, give me the training I need, send me to a res, explain the situation, have me a guide. The same thing they did with Sonny Liston for Predator. I think I didn't say his name right. I'm pretty sure I fucking fucked up his name. The actor who played Billy in Predator.
According to Wikipedia, Sonny Landham III was an American actor and stunt performer. He portrayed Billy Bear in 48 Hours and Tracker Billy Soul in Predator.
Boy, they loved letting him play Billy. So he was Billy Bear in 48 Hours and Billy Soul in Predator. Okay, I guess they didn't really try to find a real character name for him, but okay. So yeah, I didn't even show y'all what he looked like. This guy. He looks better in Predator, where he looks more native in Predator. So there, let me find one from Predator. Go back. I like the other one. Come on, you motherfucker. We was about to make the final stand. Come on, damn it. The actor who plays Bobby Sixkiller in Renegades. I like this guy. I can't pronounce his name. But this guy. It would be an honor for him to play my father. Let me see how to... Let's see. What is the name of the actor who played Bobby Sixkiller in the show Renegades? It will not say his name for me. Okay. Let's try it again. It's Branscombe Richmond. I totally butchered that, but I love this guy. Branscombe Richmond. I don't need to spell that part. How do you say Branscombe Richmond? Fuck you. Copy. I said copy, damn it. Did it copy? Okay. I'm gonna get this damn thing figured out. Oh no! Damn it. I'm sorry, y'all. Please work. Did it not paste? Oh, damn it. Okay. There's still a fighting chance. Okay.
Branscombe Richmond. Branscombe Richmond.
Okay, you got that?
Branscombe Richmond.
Alright. Branscombe Richmond. Alright. Actor Wayne Newton.
According to Wikipedia, Carson Wayne Newton is an American singer and actor.
You left off the part that he's a Native American. What tribe does Wayne Newton belong to?
The Potawatomi Indian tribe. According to Wikipedia, in 2010, Newton testified in front of the Rules Committee of the Virginia House of Delegates where he appealed for the state to recognize the Potawatomi Indian tribe of Virginia. Newton believes his father and grandfather have Potawatomi ancestry.
Okay. What Native American tribe does Graham Greene belong to?
According to Nevada Indian Commission, Graham Greene, Academy Award-nominated actor. Graham Greene, a member of the Canadian Oneida tribe, started his acting career by attending the Center for Indigenous Theatre's Native Theatre School.
Okay. Now, I didn't know Graham Greene was mixed. I thought he was full-blooded native, but he's not. So, that means I have a fighting chance. Let's see if they can give me that picture back of Graham Greene. No, they cannot. You motherfuckers. Image of Graham Greene. Alright. So this is Graham Greene. He's native. Image of Thomas Skywalker. Image of Thomas Starwalker. I follow him on TikTok. This guy's awesome. He's awesome as hell. He's an actor. He's awesome. It would be an honor to have him play my father as well. I love this guy. Who is the actor who played the Indian in the Cupboard?
The Indian in the Cupboard has a cast of more than 60 actors. Here are the first three: Hal Scardino, Steve Coogan, and Richard Jenkins.
Lightfoot is the actor. This is Lightfoot. So, we don't look too different. No, we really don't facially. I don't look like him, but I have still similar features. So, I do have native, just not as much as I would like. That being said, to all those great Native Americans that I just posted, thank you guys, and I would love to actually be in a film with each and every last one of those guys. I'm pretty sure I'm younger than most of them, maybe younger than all of them. I'm not going to swear to it because I just turned 50, but anyway, that being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you. I'm going to walk the dogs, I'm going to post the videos, jump in the shower, and I'm going to bed.